Nobody is thinking about you in that way, the way that you're thinking they think right now. That might sound a little harsh, but it's probably one of the most freeing things that you'll hear all week. Because most of that anxiety that you feel, most of the pressure, most of the overthinking is built on assumption. Assuming that everybody is watching. But I promise you they're not. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately thought, did they notice what I was wearing? Did they think I walked in weird? Was that awkward? Did I say something stupid? You replay it in your head over and over again. But here's what's actually happening. The person you think is judging you is doing the exact same thing. They're saying, do I look okay? Did I sound dumb? Are they judging me? Because everyone feels like they're on stage. But nobody's really in the audience. We all think that there's a spotlight on us, but there isn't. And it's called the spotlight effect. Your brain exaggerates how much other people notice you because you experience everything from your perspective. So it feels bigger than it is. But in reality, you're just a side character in most people's lives. And that's not an insult. It should be freeing. And it's why your embarrassment really isn't that deep. I want you to think about the last time someone else did something awkward. Did it take you a couple seconds? Do you even really remember it? Like, that's my point. People forget your quote-unquote cringe moments faster than you do because they're busy protecting their own egos. Nobody goes home and builds a metal shrine of your mistakes. Only you do. You replay it, you magnify it, you assign meaning to it, but for them, it was just a moment in time. And then they move on. Now, I do think social media made it a lot worse for people because now we add in social media into the equation. And now you feel like everyone is watching. Everyone is comparing, everyone is analyzing. But I want you to scroll through your own feed. How long do you actually think about somebody else's posts? Like maybe 3 to 5 seconds max? And then you double tap the like button and move on. You assume other people are analyzing you the way you analyze yourself, and I promise you they're not. They're just consuming. They're scrolling, living in their own heads, just like you. And now, don't get me wrong, there's this fear of being judged. I mean, I am human, and I experience it every day. But here's the real reason this matters. Because you don't start things because you're afraid of being judged. You don't speak up because you're afraid of sounding stupid. You don't post because you're afraid of looking cringe. But cringe to who? People who are too distracted worrying about themselves? The fear of judgment is stronger than the reality of judgment. And that fear keeps people small and isolated. It prevents us from doing things. But the moment that you realize that nobody is really thinking about it that much, you start to breathe different. You start to move different. You try new things. You speak freely. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop rehearsing things. Or rehearsing conversations in your head even. You stop trying to control other people's perception of you. Because you understand that you're not under constant surveillance. You're just alive. And everyone else is just trying to survive their own thoughts too. And again, that can be really freeing. Because the truth is, you're not the main character in everybody's story. I'll say it again. You're not the main character. But you are the main character in yours. And once you stop trying to manage how every side character sees you, that's when you start to get your energy back. All that mental energy that you used to spend on what do they think of me? How did that look? Did I embarrass myself? Kind of goes out the window. And now you can use it to build something, to improve, to speak, to create, to live. So I promise you, nobody is thinking about you in that way. Not the way you think they are. And that's not depressing. It's liberating. Because if no one is watching that closely, you're free to become whoever you want. So stop shrinking yourself to fit in. Stop hesitating, fear of being judged. Stop waiting for the perfect moment where no one will make fun of you. I promise you, they're not thinking about you like that. They're thinking about themselves the same way you are. The spotlight isn't real. Again, nobody is thinking about you in that way. Because if nobody's watching that closely, you're free. You're free to try. You're free to fail. You're free to look awkward. Free to grow publicly. Free to change your mind. Free to evolve. So many doors open up. And the fear that's been holding you back, it's all built on an illusion. You're afraid of an audience that doesn't really exist. You're shrinking for people who aren't paying attention. You're hesitating because of imagined judgment. But here's the truth. The people who judge you briefly forget you. The people who support you don't care about your imperfections. The people who truly do matter, they're focused on building their own lives too, just like you should be. Think about how much energy that you've wasted replaying moments in your head, conversations, posts, mistakes, small awkward seconds that felt huge in the moment. Now imagine if you got that energy back. Imagine if you redirected it into learning something, building something, training your body, sharpening your mind, becoming stronger. Something positive. That's what freedom from the spotlight illusion gives you. You stop performing and you start actually living your life. And maybe that's the real shift into adulthood, realizing the world isn't centered around you, not in a negative way, but in a humbling way. You're not under surveillance. You're not being analyzed 24/7, and you're not one mistake away from being permanently defined for that. You are a human being figuring it out, just like everyone else. And the moment you truly accept that, you become dangerous. Because now you're not paralyzed by perception, but you're empowered by your actions. And you stop asking the what will they thinks, and you'll start asking what do I want? And that question will change everything. So no, nobody is thinking about you. And that's your permission to speak, to build, to risk, to grow, to live fully. The spotlight isn't real, but your life is. So live it. Thank you all. Stay rolly.